My personal diet was always, at least toward the end of my career, was always like a cyclical diet, because what I would do is I loved protein fat. Even though I had a really fast metabolism, if I could eat extra protein and extra fat and keep my carbs really low, I found that my body responded really well to that, and I looked good and I felt good. But then if I would get super flat, I would have a day where I'd eat some carbs too. So it wasn't like I didn't have it all written down in the sense that like, okay, this is how many grams of this. I just knew what my 6 meals were every day. And on some days I would eat more carbs because I was just super flat. And then on other days, where I didn't feel flat, I would eat predominantly protein and fat in my diet. And I really liked the way that felt. So I kind of went more instinctually. As I started helping more and more people with coaching, I started to quantify these things and figure out, okay, how many grams of carbs, fat, and protein, given the person's weight, their metabolism, et cetera, et cetera. And now I have formulas, and that's what you're going to learn in the Secrets to Becoming a Diet Guru course. You'll learn that. If you're interested also, in the Dave Palumbo Experience app, if that's $29 a month, and you can sign up for that, and you'll have all my protocols in there as well. And plus you can ask questions. So that's another good resource you can use. But the truth is that, while I was competing, I was learning. I was learning my body, but I was also learning about how other people's body were. There was no coaching conventionally back then. People didn't sign up with coaching and pay you. I had guys that came over to my house, like 20, 30 guys, that routinely came over to my house just to hang out, and I did their diets for them. And I would look at them, they'd pose for me in my living room, and I'd be like, all right, let's change this, let's change that, do this cardio. And they would come over like 3-4 times a week. And it was like an in and out. I had so many people in and out of my house, but I was single then. It didn't matter. I didn't have any responsibilities, and it was fun. So, and we would hang out, watch TV, and talk bodybuilding. And we'd go out to eat and stuff. And that's how coaching started, basically. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm sure if you ask some of the guys that were around, Chad Nichols and guys like that, that's how coaching was. You just kind of help people. And we learned the different protocols that worked and what didn't work through trial and error. And that's where you're getting the protocols today from. I mean, my protocols have evolved, obviously, over the years, because the more people I work with, the more, the bigger the database I have is, and the more I can say, okay, if this type of person comes in, I know I have to use this type of a diet with them. If they're not responding, I know I have to do this. And that's why the longer you coach, the better you get at it, because you have just more exposure to more people. And you know what? I'm always being surprised. There's always some genetic freak who's either got a crazy metabolism, who's got a crazy slow metabolism that I work with, and I have to start modifying something that I do, and it's not conventional. And you know what? I actually enjoy that, because it's not just the routine type of thing that, oh, if I give you this, it's going to work. Now I got to start thinking a little more. Wait, what's wrong? Or sometimes people, are screwing up their own diets, and they don't even know it because they're using condiments. I have this one client, she's new, I love her, call her the condiment queen. She uses the most condiments I've ever seen of anyone, and 9 out of 10 of them are not good for her, and they have carbs in her, and I have to teach her how to read the labels, and that's just part of the whole process.